When we use a named input method,
When we have
variable names within the data.
variable.
when we have variable names along with the data, we use named input method. What is the advantage with the named input method?
Variable names can be written in any order.
In any order. Very good.
And in any case.
Yes, any order. Now, this is my data. I want to create a data set. Now I'm writing a program. Data set name, I want to have it as an await club 1. Then I'm writing, do we require infile statement? No, we do not require infile statement. So input, ID number, name $symbol, team $symbol, start wait. Tell me what method I can use if you have a data like this one.
Column
Only
Column
column
input
input.
method. Second method of list input method. Formatted
input method. You can use any method, right? But when I'm writing the input statement, Surendra, I must be audible. Everybody can hear me. Now, in the input statement, I'm not writing any variable names at all. Simply input semicolon. If you write input statement without any variable names or without any arguments, then this method is called as a null input method. So what do you mean by null input method? An input statement without any variable names. If you write it with input statement without any variable names, then it is called as a null input. What will happen if you execute this program? If I execute this program, you will not get any data set. You will get the data set, but you will not get any data. You will not get any variable names in it. Then what is the use of this one? There is no such use of this one. But in the interview point of view, they will ask you a question: how to create a zero variable data set? We can create a zero variable data set by writing null input. Now see, if I go to the log window, here we have the data set work.wait club 1 has 6 observations and 0 variables. So how to create a zero variable data set? If somebody asked you how to create a zero variable data set, we can create a zero variable data set by writing null input statement. Understand this one? So there is no practical usage of this method. But if I write an input semicolon, it will create a data set, but you will not have any variables in the data set. The data entered into the backend, but unfortunately, since we do not have any variable names, so you will not get the data into the data set. Simply, we are going to have an empty set. So that means that the data entered into the backend, but since we do not have any variable names, it is not displaying, it is not printing the data in the data set. Simply, it is going to be present in the backend only. So when I write an input semicolon, this is called null input. When you write a null input, it will create a zero variable data set. Okay, it will create a zero variable data set. If the interview, if they ask you how to create a zero variable data set, and you can tell we can do that one by using null input method. Understand this one?
What is the use of this set?
That's what I'm telling. There is no practical usage of this method. Now, this is my data. I want to create a data set now. And you just told me that we can create a data set if this is the data in 3 different methods. Now, can we try all the 3 different methods one time? Now, I'm creating a weight club 1. I'm writing input. First of all, I want to use column input methods. Tell me how we write the column input method. In the column input method, after each and every variable name, you should write a starting column hyphen ending column. Then the name, again character variable. I know the column numbers. I'm writing 6 hyphen 20. Then the team variable, character variable, 25 hyphen 30, because we have data for the team from 25th column to 30th column. Then I'm writing start weight. I'm writing, 32nd column to 34th column. And then I'm writing end weight, 36th column to 38th column. And keep a semicolon. Then I'm writing data lines. And finally, you can write the run statement. Okay. Now, if I select the program, execute the program, yes, we are going to have weight club 1 data set. Now, see, we have 5 variables. What's the problem?
You have
Just start with
mentioned
32 to 34.
Now, select the program and execute it. Now, we have weight club 1. Now, can you see we got the data? By the way, what is this method?
Column input
Column
method.
input method.
Column input
Now,
method.
I'm keeping this column input method in the comment section. Now, I want to use a second method of simple list input method. Now, can you tell me how to write the second method of simple list input method? Input, ID number,
4 dot.
4 dot.
4 dot, very good.
4 dot.
So we
So
should
5 dot.
skip 1 column. Then the name, character available,
15 dot.
very good. 15 dot.
15 dot.
Plus how many columns should skip now?
3.
I'll check. 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So I'm writing plus 4. Then I'm writing the team,
6 dot.
dollar symbol,
6 dot.
6 dot, plus 1,
Plus 1. 3.
start weight,
3
3
dot.
dot,
3 dot. And weight.
end weight, end weight,
3 dot.
3 dot. And between the start weight and end weight, what we should do?
Plus 1.
And I want to create a weight club 2. Select the program, execute the program. Now we have weight club 2. Now can you see? We have the data. Now, I do not want to use this method. I'm keeping that also in the comment section. Now I want to create a weight club 3. Now this time I want to use a formatted input method. Do you know how to write the formatted input method? So in the input statement, before the variable name and the symbol, starting
At the rate.
then and bit.
4 dot.
Dot.
Now again get
And 6. Name.
symbol 15 dot.
15 dot.
Now again
At the
get the
rate.
symbol 25th column team dollar symbol 6 dot. 6 dot.
At the rate.
Now, then after that, again, you should write the at the rate symbol. I'm writing at the rate symbol. Maybe you should write 32 dot weight 3 dot. And again, at 36 and the weight 3 dot. And what is this?
The second method you wrote, what is that method? That is
Second method of simple list input method.
that is modified.
Yes. Yes.
No, I
yes,
used
sir.
modified. I used
Actually-
modifier to reduce that length.
Okay.
The characteristic of second method of simplest method, we should always set the variable names in the order of the data.
Yes, yes. So when we are like, we can also write instead of 4 dot plus 1, instead of it, we can also write 5 dot. No?
5 dot. Yes, we can read 5 dot. So to
Okay.
I want to reduce the size, so I have written 4 dot. I'm to one column.
Okay.
Okay. Now if I do the program, yes, we are going to have a weight club 3. Now can you see we have the data? Understand this one? Now, if we have a data like this one, we can use either column input method, second method of simple list input method, or we can also use format input method. But now what I'm doing, so please check what I'm doing now. Now this is again the same data. I want to create a weight club 4. I'm writing weight club 4. Then I'm in the input. In the input statement, first I'm writing ID number, and then I'm writing 4 dot. What is this method? Anybody? If I write ID number 4 dot,
Column
Simple second input method.
Second
Simple
method
in
of
Simple.
second method of
Simple.
simple in.
very good. Now I'm writing at 6 name $symbol 5 dot. What is this method?
Formatted input.
formatted method.
Formatted input method. Very good. Now I'm writing at 25. Sorry, I will write team $symbol 25-30. What is this method?
column
Column input method.
Now I'm writing start weight space end weight. What is this method? That is first method of simple list input method.
Simple is
Normal in simple list input method, right? Now, if I select the program, execute the program, now we have weight equal 4. Now, can we check, do we have the data?
Yes.
Now, if you use more than one input method in the same input statement, and then it is called mixed input method. Understand? If you use more than one input method in the same statement, then it is called mixed input method. So here I'm using second method of simplest method, formatted input method, column input method, again simple list input method. I am using more than one method, so then that's why this is called a mixed input method. So when I use a mixed input method, did I get the data or not? Yes, I got the data. So from this, what you can understand now, in the real time, nobody will question you, nobody will ask you what is the method that you are using. If you want, you are comfortable with, you can use any one method, or if you want, you can use all the methods together. All we need to do is we need to get the data without any problem, without any truncations, without any missing values. Whatever the data that we have, we should be able to capture the data. So if you want, you can use only column input method, or only formatted input method, or only second method of simple list method, or you can use the combination of any two or more than that. Understand this one? So all we need to do is we have to get the properly. We have to get the data without any truncations, without losing the data. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
This is called mixed input method. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Now, the next one that we have is, input specification. In the input specification, we have a method called double trailing method. What is double trailing method? Now, say for example, I have data Hyderabad 2719 or 2714, Mumbai 2921, Chennai 3125, Delhi we have 3116, and we have Bangalore 1911. Okay, I have here 6 cities and their temperature, 5 cities and their temperatures, maximum temperature and minimum temperature. Now I want to create a data set. To create a data set, I'm writing a program like this one. Data. I want to have a data set named temp, semicolon. We do not require infile statement anyway because we have in-stream data. I'm writing input. I want to have a city, character variable $symbol. Then I want to have maximum temperature. Then I want to have a minimum temperature. Then finally, semicolon. Then I'm writing the data lines. And finally, now I'm writing the run statement. Now, can somebody tell me, if I execute this program, how many observations I'm going to have? If I execute this program, how many observations I'm going to have?
3 observations.
Only one observation.
1 observation.
Five.
1.
1, 5, 3.
1.
One.
How many?
5.
Why only one observation?
Five.
Same line.
5, sir.
5 observations?
One.
1.
No. According to our current knowledge, we'll check what is going to happen. Now, I told you, in the backend, we are going to have an input pointer like this one. Tell me in the input statement, what is the first variable that we have? City. Now we'll start. What is the, by the way, what is the rule? Space or 8 characters, whichever comes first.
Space or
Now, H, Y, D space. H1 will go to which variable?
City variable.
city.
Very good. After the space, we have a 27. 27 will go to which variable?
Maximum.
Max. And after the space, we have 14. 14 will go to which variable?
Minimum.
Minimum. Now tell me, do you have any variables after this?
No.
No.
No. The remaining part will be
Ignored.
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 So tell me now, how many observations I'm going to get now?
One observation.
Only one
One,
observation. We'll get only one observation. But unfortunately, because of the space issues, I have got 5 observations in one line. Now I want to have this as my second observation. This is my third observation. I want to have this as a fourth observation. And this one, I want to have it as a fifth observation. Generally in the back end, what will happen? Just imagine you are holding this record. You are holding this record with your right hand. Just imagine. Just which is parallel to your eyes. Now, when the program executes, first the city will be get executed. So Hyderabad will go to city. 27 will go to max. 14 will go to min. So once the input statement has been read, now the record should be get to go away from your hand. We should leave this record from your hand. That is the normal. But I want to again, the same input statement should be get executed to read this as my second observation. That means I want to keep this record in my hand until to execute the same input statement again second time. Again, I want to hold this record further to execute the same input statement again so that this will go as a third observation. So I want to hold this input record further to execute the same input statement 5 times so that to get 5 observations. To hold until to that point, to the time. Now what I'm going to do in the input statement, after all the variable names, I'm going to specify $@ symbol. What this $@ symbol will do, it holds the record, this record furthermore to execute the same input statement repetitively. Now say, after writing $@ symbol, I'm selecting this program, executing this one. Now I have a temperature data set. Now can you see how many observations I have now?
5.
So 5 observations. So generally, when we have a multiple observations, since we have only 3 variables in the input statement, this record will be get executed only one time. The input statement will read only one time. And after that, the record will be get discarded. But I do not want to discard it. I want to hold it further to execute the same input statement repetitively. To hold in that way, what we should do in the input statement, after all the variable names, you should write the $@ symbol, and that we call as in double trailing. So at the trailing end, we are specifying $@ symbol. You no need to have 5 observations all the time. So in my first record, I have 2 observations. In the second record, again, I have 2 observations. In the third record, I have 1 observation. If you have more than 1, you can write the double trailing method. You'll get the data. It should not be everything in the same record. You can have multiple records, but all we need to have, at least you should have, minimum 2 records in any one of the lines. Maybe I have like this one, 3 records, 3 records in one line, and say, for example, 2 records in another line. Now also, you'll get the data set. So now how we can define the double trailing method? Now we can say it holds current input record for the execution of same input statement again and again. Same input statement మళ్ళీ execute అయ్యేంత వరకు కనుక మీరు రికార్డింగ్ కనుక హోల్డ్ చేసి పట్టుకున్నారనుకోండి, and that method we call it as a double trailing method. Clear, everybody? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is my data. I want to create a data set. Now, data, I am writing a weight club. Then I'm going to specify input. Tell me what is the best method we can do. We can use a column input method, or format input method, second method simple method, or we can use it all together. We can use a mixed input method. But I do not want to read all the observations. I want to have only red team observations. I want to have only red team. To have only the red team observations, in future, we are going to have so many methods. We can delete that yellow team, we can do so many things. But one of the methods is, what I'm going to do, in the input statement, I'm writing first only team variable. It's a character variable $symbol. I'm writing a 25-30. Now tell me, if I write this program, what will happen now? I'll get only
team variable.
I'll get only team variable. So I'm going to have only team variable, which is going to have 6 observations. So this is how we are going to have. But this is not my requirement. What is my requirement? I want to have entire observation when the team is red. I want to have this observation, and I want to have this observation, and again I want to have this observation. Now see what I'm going to do. I'm writing now, if team input, I'm writing first only the team variable. Now after that, I'm writing if team is equal to red, I'm writing a condition. If this condition is true, now read the other variables. Now to read the other variables, again I'm writing one more input statement. This time I want to have ID number, but I want to have ID number from first column to fourth column. Okay, then I want to have a name, $symbol, 6th column to 20th column. Then I want to have a start weight, because I already read the team variable, start weight, 32nd column to 34th column. And then I want to have end weight, 36th column to 38th column. What is going to happen now? Now it will read first to 25th to 30th column. It will capture this value. Then what is the next statement that we have? We have a statement called if statement. Do not worry about this statement. I will discuss about that if statement later. But what is the condition I'm writing? Can you see? If team is equal to red, if this condition is true, then read the next input statement. If this condition is not true, it will not execute this statement. Now that means what I should do, now I should hold this record. First, we should execute the team, this statement, and I should hold further until to execute the next input statement. Next input statement execute ayyanta varaku kuda, I want to hold this one. To hold for that long time. Now what should I do? Generally, what we should do, what will happen? First, you just imagine you are holding this record with you. And first this statement will be get executed. Team $symbol 25-30. Now what will happen now? As soon as this statement executed, so it will read from 25th to 30th column. then this record should go away from your hand. But I want to hold this record further long to execute the next input statement also. So I want to hold further for longer time. Now to hold that one in the first input statement, after the team variable, after the column numbers, now I'm going to specify a special character called @ symbol. Now this @ symbol will allow us to hold this record to execute the same next input statement within the same program. Now see, after writing this one, I'm selecting the program, executing it. Now we have wait club. Now can you see what we have now? We have only team red observations. Understand this one?
So please
So
repeat.
now, I want to hold this record. First of all, children, what is the statement will execute in this program first? First, this input statement will execute. If this input statement executes, it will capture the data from which column to which column? It will capture the data from 25th column to 30th column. So just imagine in the first observation, what value it is going to capture? Red. Okay. Now in the second statement, I'm writing if team is equal to red. So I want to have only red team observation. So if this condition satisfied, now read the next statement. But if you want to read this next statement also, you should have this record with you, know. So I want to hold this record for that long time to execute, if the condition is true, to execute the next statement also. If you want to hold that record for that long, now what is the special modifier you should write now? You should write @ symbol in the first input statement before the semicolon. Understand this one?
Sir, only
Sir,
one.
once execute without @ symbol, sir.
No, first I already executed. No, I'm going to get the data. No, this is how we are going to get it. Okay, you will get the data without that one, but this is more efficiency. I'm deleting this one. As you said, I'm not writing @ symbol. So see, if I execute the program, you'll get the data anyway. But what I'm saying is, here what is going to happen? I will tell you a small story. I have two scenarios here. There is a theater, a movie theater. Okay, now there is a show is going on at 8 o'clock. I opened the doors. Everybody came to that theater. Everybody sat down and they're enjoying the show. And suddenly I came after 30 minutes. I announced that whoever got pass, entry pass, only those people should to sit. Otherwise, the other people should leave that auditorium. Is that is better? Or before starting the show, I was standing at entrance. I allowed only the people who has got the pass. Which one is a more efficient, better one?
Before is efficient, sir.
Standing at the before, at the entrance. And if I allowed only the people who has got the pass, that is the
Yes,
second
sir.
one. That is a better option, right?
Yes,
Now here also, if I'm not writing @ symbol, I will get the data. But what will happen now? Data will come first, then the filtration will take place. So first, SAS is going to read all the data, and after that, it is going to filter only red team observation. But if I specify @ symbol, what it will do? It will take only the data. It will check the condition first, then only it will read the data. Okay? The most important thing is in SAS, we can do the same thing in multiple ways. When you have multiple chances, you should always write the best possible way, the more efficient manner. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
This is how we are going to use @ symbol. And by the way, this is called, single trailing method. What you call it as a single trailing method. So what the single trailing method? What is the difference between here and here? Here in the program, I have only one input statement. The same input statement should be get executed again and again. But in the second method, we have a two input statement. I should hold this record until to execute the next input statement. But here, I should hold the record to execute the same statement again and again. So that is the difference between single trailing and double trailing. Now, in the single trailing, how we can say it holds the input record for the execution of next input statement within the same program. Within the same program. And this is called single trailing method. It holds the input record for the execution of a next input statement within the program. And this is called single trailing method. Understand, everybody? Is this clear? This
సార్
is
ఇప్పుడు
about
అట్ ద రేట్ సింబల్ హోల్డ్ చేయడానికి యూస్ చేస్తున్నామా సార్, ఫిల్టరింగ్ కి యూస్ చేస్తున్నామా సార్?
it. We are holding it. To filter, we have a condition statement.
Okay.
Here we are using to hold it.
Okay, sir.
Filtration will be done by the if statement.
Okay, sir.
Now this
Sir,
is
if you will not specify at the rate, filtration will be done later and record.
Later.
It will record first only.
yes. First, it will read all the 6 records. Then filtration will be done.
Sir, can we write input team at the rate in the second input statement only and then if
No,
statement?
we should use only column input method if you want to use the trailing method, because I want to read the first team value, then I want to read other variables. So you should use column input method.
Okay. For single trailing method, we should only use column input.
Column input method, because I want to pick only first team value. Then after that, I want to pick other values.
Okay. Sir.
Clear, everybody? Now, once you're done with the input statement, what is the next statement that we have in our program? Or in our topic, what is the next topic?
Data
Next
statement.
Data lines.
we have data line statement, right? Do you know when we use the data line statement?
Then we have in-stream data.
Stream data.
When we have in-stream data or raw data, we use data lines, right? Say for example, now this is my data. I want to create a data set. Now, I want to have ID number, name, 6. I want to have RBC, then WBC. I am writing data. I want to have a DS1. Do we require infile statement, by the way?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, we do not require. So I'm writing input statement. I'm writing ID number, name. So dollar symbol. I'm writing 6-20. Then I'm writing the 6 dollar symbol. Then I want to have RBC. W. By the way, what input method I'm using here? Can you tell me? What is this input method?
Column input.
Column.
No.
Mixed input method.
Mixed input. I'm using column only for the name. For the remaining variables, I'm using simple list input method. So this is called a mixed input method, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I execute the program, we got the data. So we are going to have DS1, and this is how we have the data. Now, when we have in-stream data, after writing all the statements, before the starting of the data, you should write the data lines. After the data lines, you should not have any other statement, only should have the data. When we have in-stream data, how we are going to indicate that we have in-stream data to SAS, how we are going to tell that one, once you have written the data lines, you should not have any other statement. You should have only the data. And by the way, if you want, you can write the data lines, or otherwise what you can write now, we can also write cards. Understand? So when we require data lines, when we have only in-stream data. Otherwise, we never require in-file statement. Sorry, we never require data lines or card statement. Okay. Now, this is my data. You only tell me how this data is different from the previous data.
Semicolon.
What's the specialty of the data? We have semicolon after each and every record, after each and every line. Now I want to have ID number, name, character available dollar symbol, column number 6-20, then I want to have a sex variable dollar symbol, then I want to have a RBC, then I'm writing the WBC semicolon, then I'm writing the data lines. And finally, now I'm writing. Generally, when writing a data line semicolon, the background should be get turned into
Yellow.
Yellow.
But now can you see, even though I have written the data lines semicolon, it is not getting turned into yellow color. The reason is we have a semicolon after each and every line. Remember, when we have a semicolon after each and every line, what we should do? You should write data lines 4. No matter how many observations we have, still what we should write? Data lines 4. Now, when I write the data lines 4, can you see what happened here? The run statement also turned into yellow color. Now, what we should do? You have to mandatorily mention 1, 2, 3, 4 semicolons. No matter how many observations we have, still what we should write? 4 semicolons. So here you should have the data lines 4. Here you should have 4 semicolons. Now selecting the program, executing the program. Yes, we have a DS2 data set. And we got the data. And of course, instead of data lines 4, what you can write now? You can also write cards 4. Now, I want to have DS2. Now say, I'm selecting this program executing. Yes, we got the DS2 data set. Understand this one?
Sir, if we have 10 observations at down semicolon, we can give only 4 or more.
No matter how many observations we have, still you should have only 4. Okay?
Okay.
I have 20 observations. Still what we should write? We should data lines 4 only. Cards 4. And you should have only 4 semicolons. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, this is my data. I want to create a data set. Tell me how this data is different from the previous data. How this data is different from the previous one?
It's not having any spaces.
Very good. We do not have any space between the last value and the semicolon here. Now I want to create data set, data, DS3. I am writing input ID number, name, $symbol 6-20. Then I'm writing a sex variable, $symbol. I want to have RBC. Then I'm writing the WBC. Then what I should write? Since we have a semicolon?
Data lines 4.
4. I'm writing a data lines 4. And finally, what we should write here?
4
1,
semicolons.
2, 3, 4 semicolons. Then we should write the run. But if I execute the program, I will get the data in all the variables except WBC. You know the reason? Because I am reading the WBC as numerical data. If you're not writing a $symbol, that means what is this variable? Numerical variable, right? But here, along with the numerical value, what we have here? We have a special character.
Special character.
Now SAS cannot understand. That's why SAS couldn't able to read values into WBC. Then what we should do? Since the data is in aligned manner, so what I want to do, I want to use the column input method. So starting column is 30 and ending column is 32. Now I'm writing, 30-32. Now what will happen now? It will read only 30, 31, 32nd column. It will read only this part. Isn't it? Now see, if I execute the program, yes, we are going to have, DS3 data set. Now can you see? We have the data. Understand this one?
So,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to write data lines 4 only every time.
Every time.
The data
Then we
is
have a semicolon.
even if the data is in it is of 10 or 6 or 7, we have to write
Any
data
number of observations. Any number of observations. So if you have 1 observation or 20 observations or 1,000 observations, still we should write data lines 4 only.
Why so? Like why 4 particularly?
Because they have mentioned in that way. In SAS, sometimes you will not find the logic because SAS has been developed on C language. Okay, they have written the code in that way. Okay.
Okay. Or above run the 4 semicolons, or you wrote that?
Yeah.
There is gap between the word, the numerical value and the semicolon.
Here, it is not a problem because since we have a space, SAS can understand. But since we do not have a space, what I should do, I should give the comment because I want to read only this point to this point. Or otherwise, what we should do, we should read as a character data. Then not a problem. But how will you get the WBC now? You'll get a 120 colon
120
as
column.
part of the data.
With special character.
This colon also will come into the data. Okay. Clear, everybody? So this is it. This is called data line statement. We have only two options. Either you should do the data lines or data lines 4. Cards or cards 4. Understand this one? When we read the data lines or cards, when we have in-stream data. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
And after the data lines, what is the next statement that we have?
Run state.
Run statement. Now, what is the use of the run statement when we read the run statement?
To execute the
program.
End of the program.
To close the
Program.
program. To close the program. Okay. Now, I have in-stream data here. I'm writing a data, DS4. I'm writing input. I want to have ID number, name $symbol, 6-20, then $6 Then I'm writing, RBC, then WBC. Then what should I write now? I should write the data lines. Okay. Now, finally, what I should write now? I should write the run. So run statement is useful to close the program. Now see, if I select the program, go to the program, now we have DS4 and we got the data. Okay. Now, this time, what I'm going to do? When we have in-stream data, remember, you no need to write a run statement. Only semicolon is also enough. Now see, I'm writing only semicolon, execute the program. Now we are going to have a data set. This is only when we have in-stream data. But when we have any other program, every time you should close your program only with run statement. But when we have in-stream data, either you can write the run statement or you can also write only semicolon. But the best way of closing program is, I always do, I will keep the semicolon, then I will write the run semicolon. Now say, if I write a semicolon and then run semicolon, if I execute the program, yes, I'm going to get the data set. So this is the most appropriate way of closing the program. But remember, when we have in-stream data, only semicolon is fine, or you can write only the run. Both will work. But if I'm writing some other program, say for example, creating a DS5, I'm writing set DS4. Now, how we should close the program now? You have to close the program only by writing the run statement. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Clear, everybody?
Sir?
Yes.
We have written DS5 and for that we are taking data from DS4, no, sir?
Yes.
So by default, SAS will not understand that it is an in-stream data, and if we don't write run.
Already you have created a data set, right? DS4.
Yes.
I'm creating a DS5 from the existing data set. It doesn't matter how you created the DS4.
Yes, sir. So in this, we can't execute this as without writing run, sir.
Here, no. When writing a data set and you have to write, says run statement. Otherwise, the program will not be get executed. Can you see that the program is still in running mode? We are not getting the data set.
If we mention semicolon, sir.
No, you won't get that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Because sir.
Can you see the data step is still in running mode?
Running mode, yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, this in-stream data should be only aligned one, or it is applicable for non-aligned data also?
Okay. Can you see on the top here what?
Yes, sir. Running.
Can you see the step is still running? the
Yes,
program
sir.
will not be get closed properly.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
Sir, can you please explain run statement again? Hello? Your voice is not coming, sir.
Hello, is class over for the day?
I think sir has network issues.
Okay.
We'll wait for a couple of minutes.
Sir had lost the connection. Sir had texted in group, brother.
I think class bro. Class has completed.
Sir said that will continue in next class.
Next class. Session has been ended.
Okay, guys. See you.